First, what's up, y'all? Fucking tired. Welcome to the Nico Jackson Show. You're gonna have to bear with me today. I tried to get new furniture from the IKEA in Renton, and these people had me down there waiting. But now I see why they tell you not to come until you get the second email. I was down in Renton waiting for mad long to pick up this chair that I'm gonna get. So you see, I moved the couch out. So I have these two dusty ass chairs that I've been toting with me for some years now. And so now I gotta wait until tomorrow to get my other chair. So on Thursday I'll have a different setup. But for now, this is how we're rocking tonight. So welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. There's definitely stuff to get into, that's for sure. I feel like I'm ready to drag the fuck out of this Amy Cooper lady. But then we also want to, send some love to our man, George Floyd. This shit is crazy, bro. Like, I feel like the last few weeks we've talked about Ahmaud, Breonna, and now it's George. We're talking about people left and right all getting killed by police for no damn reason. And the shit is just crazy. So things are out of hand. So we're going to talk about that. I also am we're going to talk about Mike Tyson, man. Mike Tyson this shit is crazy. My man is like dead ass serious. He's really coming back to kick some of y'all's asses. I like it. FBI investigations. Is anything actually going to get done, or are they just gassing us up into thinking they're going to put a stop to some of these people who are killing my black brothers and sisters for no reason? I don't really think anything's going to happen. I think when people see, FBI is investigating, like a lot of people tend to get nervous or whatever. But I really don't think that they're going to do anything. I should spray some WD-40 on this chair because this motherfucker keeps squeaking. Let's see, man. One of the crazy stories that I'm going to talk about at the end is tell me why. And I'm really not surprised because I hear about this shit all the time. I actually personally know somebody who was caught up in one of these to catch a predator type of deals. But it's crazy that there's this pedophiles hunter thing that I'm going to talk about, and they caught a whole police chief trying to have sex with a 14-year-old boy. How are you catching the police chief trying to sleep with these little kids? This shit is crazy, bro. Honestly, I feel like all of this shit is just falling apart at the seams. That's what it feels like. It feels like we're in a space where life is just starting to crumble. I hope people are prepared for that. Big Baby Jonathan, what's cracking, my G? Yo, I need to call into his show. I need to talk about something other than all this depressing shit. We need to talk some hoops. NBA season might be resuming. What's crazy? I think was it on my podcast last Friday? I talked about my imaginary scenarios, what I'm hoping to happen with the NBA. I'm gonna say this, man. I want the Lakers to win it. But I'm going to say this. If Kawhi wins the championship this year, if the Clippers somehow win it, Kawhi's the best player on the planet. And I know that shit sounds crazy as hell, but you win rings in San Antonio and then you go to Toronto. That franchise was never, ever supposed to win the NBA championship ever in their history. And Kawhi brought that to them. So to win the championship. And then if he is to go to the Clippers and if they are to win a championship, knowing that their team has never been good ever, I think he has to be considered the best player on the planet. Maybe not the most skilled basketball player, because I think all around that has to be Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is probably the most skilled basketball player that we have based on the fact that he's 6'11" or whatever the hell he is, almost 7 feet tall. The handles, the range, can get to the rack. Well, I feel like when he comes back, nothing will be different. I know that defensively there are questions about him, but I think based on his length and the athleticism that he has, it doesn't require a lot for KD to be a good defensive player or to put himself in that realm. So I think when he comes back, he will probably resume his role as best player in the league. I know people want it to be Braun so bad, but I mean, really, we're very spoiled and blessed. LeBron's not supposed to be this good in year 17 with the amount of miles that he's put on his body. You're lucky that LeBron has played in a time where the technology allows for all of these like medical advancements, and he's able to invest tons of money into maintaining his body. That allows him to maintain this type of pace that he's in. That's not supposed to happen in year 17. We're very, very spoiled and lucky that we get to see Braun play like this. But I think it's also time to face the facts that if they don't win the ring this year, and say a team like the Clippers do or Milwaukee does, it puts one of those two guys, Giannis or Kawhi, at the very top and potentially on the throne. And I think after that, it has to be okay that LeBron wouldn't be the best player in the league. At that point, especially when you go into next season, you're talking about year 18 years in the league, bro. Because even if he's not the best, he's still top 3. I feel like top 3 in year 18 is still pretty good. Not a lot of people can say that. All right, man. Well, let's check the time on this music. They're listening to Puff Daddy, Satisfy You. People thought I was playing. I had that record queued up. I had that motherfucker waiting for days, too. Shout out to Diddy and his rap career. Just the rap version of Diddy cracks me up because after Biggie, passed, Diddy wanted us to believe that he was like Biggie passed the torch to him or something. And I could be wrong. He could come out and say that he never ever had any intent for us to try to believe that he was a rapper. But I swear, bro, he was on every verse he could think of trying to spit bars. And I'm going to say this, Diddy was not working out, bro. You as a rapper, one of the worst. I will say his verse on, what is it? Let's Get It. That one slaps. His verse on Victory, the second verse, kind of slapped. But I feel like Biggie probably wrote that. And I don't know, man. Maybe someone can confirm. I guess I could probably confirm it, but I don't really want to give him the satisfaction of looking that up. I'm just telling you what I think. But I think Satisfy You, him and R. Kelly, they killed that. I feel like Diddy was cut out for those types of records. The ones where he is, kind of serenading the ladies. And I feel like back in the day with the shiny suits, boy, you could have got any girl on the planet. If your suit was shiny enough, that little fake ass fucking it's like a half of a sweatsuit, but kind of a regular suit, but it's really, really shiny. Diddy was one of the few that could pull that off, man, with success. So that Satisfy You record, it was the cut. I'm glad that shit is going off. Now they're listening to Lloyd Banks, but I'm going to cut this off and let's intro the show. Man, turn this shit off. I mean, don't get me wrong. That Lloyd Banks record is hot, but, thank you for tuning in, man. You are tuned in live to the Meaningful Jackson Show, live on Track Talk Radio as well as YouTube. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm in here watching NCIS, and I was thinking about shows where they try to solve crimes and who are some of the top, detectives on these shows. And, Stabler on SVU is one. And I keep forgetting the girl's name. What is her fucking name? I know her real name is Mariska or something like that. She's been on that show for 37 years, but she's still fire on there. And then you think Gibbs is a really good lead detective. What other shows do I watch? Dokes was a really good lead detective. If you are a fan of Dexter, you know who Dokes is. Surprise, motherfucker. Dokes was lit, and literally he did go literally up in flames. He was lit for real. Shout out to Dokes, man. I feel like they didn't give him a lot of respect, and I feel like if Dokes worked with Gibbs and Ziva, oh my God, they could have stopped every criminal imaginable. None of this shit would have even been close. But Dokes' ass was crazy out of control. Olivia, that's what her fucking name is. God. Olivia something. Nobody knows her last name. Does she have two first names? Olivia, Detective Olivia. What's her last name on the show? They all have like really like, you know, strong detective last names. It's like Stabler, and then whoever she is. What's Ice-T's name? What is he? God, no one even cares, but still. Anyway, NCIS, that's my shit. I've been going through that. I'm all the way up on season 5. But some of this stuff is like, I don't know, man. When the explosions happen, I'd be like, why don't they be getting blown up a little bit more? They look like they barely be taking any damage, but I feel like real explosions be having you real fucked up as close as they be standing. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, man. Welcome to the show. All right, let's get to the dragging portion of the show. I'm so excited to drag this C word, Amy Cooper, as well as drag Facebook. And the reason I like to, you know, give Facebook a hard time is because it's clear that the people they have in charge are, I want to say this correctly. Well, I mean, they're assholes. I'm gonna start by saying that. Let me lay it out for you. So my beef with them is that I continue to get banned for bullshit. So today I was banned because I was commenting on the Amy Cooper situation, and then you all should know her name by now because she is the lady who did not have her dog on a leash in Central Park when the laws state that you have to have your dog on a leash. A man confronted her. That man happened to be African American. She got upset because she was being asked to follow a rule. Maybe you can say he's corny for wanting to quote the fucking rule book at a complete stranger, but it is what it is. Because he's an avid bird watcher, he says that he usually says something to people who don't have their dogs on a leash because the dogs not being on a leash gives them the opportunity to run around and, you know, create chaos amongst the birds that actually walk on the ground. It was like a whole thing that they put in the interview that I read about with him. And so Amy got upset, and then because she didn't like how the guy was, you know, talking to her, she decided to say, well, I'm going to call the cops and I'm going to tell them that there's a black man threatening my life. And there also may be some low amounts of animal abuse on the video. Because, you know, she's dragging her fucking dog around. The dog doesn't want to go anywhere with her, which that shit was funny as hell too. And so Amy issued an apology. Her apology was bullshit. It was fake. It was terrible. And she was only apologizing because she got caught and because she had a job where she worked at Franklin Templeton, the investment firm. Sorry, I got my little baby basketball shorts on and my tight ass jersey. You know, you see my titties popping. I'm getting ready for summer, man. But she had a good job. She only apologized because she got fired, or well, she was put on administrative leave. And then I think they finally came out today and did the right thing and they fired her. So this morning I put that I thought her apology was bullshit. And I put, and this is a direct quote on Facebook, I put, fucking white people. But the way I spelled it was, what is it? WYIPIPO or some bullshit like that. Something that I see millions of people type and put online all day, every day. I also see people getting fucked on Facebook all the damn time. I mean, there's even a thing where I saw a friend of mine, shout out to my homegirl Heather, who's literally on here trying to get them to shut down a pedophile ring. There's literally a Facebook group that is well known for being a place where pedophiles gather and prey on children. It's on Facebook and they won't shut it down. But yet when I say some white lady's apology is bullshit, when she tried to get the cops called on some black dude, probably hoping that he would be murdered because he inconvenienced her, which, I mean, maybe that's a stretch and that probably sounds crazy. But at the same time, I would not be surprised, because what other reason does she have for wanting to get the cops involved when a nigga's just asking her to put her dog on a leash? When that's a part of the fucking rules too. When you have the leash in your hand. Why not just put the leash on the dog and keep it moving? But like I said, I was excited to drag Amy's fucking loser ass because now she has no job. I mean, nothing major happened, so obviously no charges will be brought upon her, and that's totally fine. But I love the fact that now she has no job. You try to flex your privilege on a man at the park. You tried to say while he was filming you that you were going to call 911 and tell them that you were being harassed by an African American. You did that because you know that when the cops come, the outcome is usually severe for that person. Whether they commit a crime or not, it's usually almost a guarantee that things will probably get out of hand. And it works out more in that white person's favor. That's what she was hoping for. And I'm glad that that did not happen. Apparently, by the time the cops got there, both parties involved had left the area. But by then, the damage was already done. Amy's garbage ass was already on videotape. The tape was already circulating the internet. People all across the world were already seeing it. She was placed on administrative leave very quickly. And then this afternoon, her job finally came out and said that she was fired. The funniest part is that when I read a thing from her, a direct quote says, "Because of this video, my life is being destroyed." God, doesn't that just hurt? Doesn't it just hurt when you cause your own problems, but then your life gets destroyed? And then you complain about it on the internet, all because you were having a moment where you decided to be your true self, which is the fucking epitome of all Karens. You wanted to be a see you next Tuesday, and you got what you deserve, which is now you have no fucking job. And I hope you have a hard time finding employment anywhere. You are a complete garbage human who deserves everything that you have gotten. The funniest part was that even in the video, she's like trying to drag her dog around. The dog doesn't even want to go anywhere with her, excuse me. And then one of the funniest things about this is that someone came, I guess she got the dog like a week ago from maybe like a shelter or something. And then the shelter came and picked the fucking dog up because they don't even think the dog is safe with this fucking lady. So now you have no job, you have no dog, and now you are one of the faces of the internet. You and the 4 cops today that were fired after this one asshole decided that it would be a good idea to put his knee on a person's neck in order to restrain them and hold it there for roughly about 8 minutes. Don't worry. If you were wondering, yeah, the person died because he opted to do that. And he's on videotape being told by the victim that the victim cannot breathe and that his stomach is hurting, he's experiencing pain, and you can see where he acts like he has no regard for this person's life. In those moments, he opted to be the person who got to make the decision whether or not this guy lived or died for whatever crime he did not even commit. Who knows what the fuck happened? Shit is crazy. So Amy, along with these garbage ass police officers, and again, I want to make it clear for anybody who's watched this show, you see me talk about this a bunch of times. I don't think the job or profession, of police officer is trash. I think a lot of these people wearing the badge and pretending to be cop, but actually playing the role of criminal and murderer, I think that is trash. I want to make that clear before people get on here and assume that we're just on here bashing police officers. And no one better leave in the comments Blue Lives Matter. I don't want to hear nothing about that shit. And I'm sorry if people who watch this have friends who are police officers. Yeah, I got those motherfuckers too. And I know that it's not everybody. One of my favorite people growing up was a police officer. It's one of my next door neighbors, Chris Lanzetta. Really good dude, excellent cop. As far as I know, I don't know what his service record is, but as far as I know in my relationship with him, he never mistreated me. But there were people that he worked with that mistreated me on several occasions. It's not a secret. Some of the people who put those uniforms on are complete fucking bozos who don't deserve to have that job. They only sign up for the job so they can have a legal means to kill people or commit crimes or inflict abuse upon people because it's a way that they can get back after feeling like they were abused and taken advantage of when they were younger. It's a way to feel powerful. Some of these people who get this job, they grow up being the softest fucking people, what we deem as soft. They grow up being these type of people, and then when they finally get that opportunity, all you have to do is take the test, withstand, some punishment that you're gonna endure when you do drills and training and all this. And if you can make it through this little course after a certain amount of weeks, we'll get you out of the academy, and then maybe we'll place you if we have some opportunities, and then bam, you're on the street, and then bam, you're able to commit all the freaking murders you want. Well, I don't know. Depends on where you're at. Some of these people aren't getting by with shit. But at the same time, I feel like the worst that we've seen, I know there are cops who are doing time for specific crimes that they have committed while donning the badge. But at the same time, how often do we actually see these cops who kill these black people actually do time? How often does it happen? I'll wait. Never. I'm saying never. It probably does happen, but I feel like the answer is never. So, shout out to my man George. R.I.P. Losing your life probably for damn near no reason. It's every week, man. That's what it feels like. Just in the last month, it's Ahmad, Brianna, George, and there's probably so many other names, and maybe their cases are just not being, put up on the news the same way these other ones are. But god damn, every damn week it seemed like it's somebody new getting killed for no damn reason. This shit is crazy, man. I don't know how to explain it. Amy Cooper. God, I hope you stub all of your toes walking around your house. Actually, no. You know what? This sounds gonna sound crazy as hell. I hope I hope you go back to the shelter, and I hope they give you that dog back. And I hope when you get home, that dog bites the shit out of you right on your ass cheeks. I hope it take a chunk out of your ass. That way, every time you sit down, you're going to think about that one time that you played yourself and called the cops on a black dude for no fucking reason, and you tried to play the victim. And you're going to think about that every time you sit down because a whole chunk of your ass is going to be missing. And stub all your toes. And then maybe pay a fine. I don't know. But her apology was terrible. And I appreciate, it's also funny. Her and the guy she messed with, they had the same last name. Well, that's nothing probably, but I still like the fact that they had the same last name because look, even though you hate them, look, you guys have some things in common. You probably could have just had a nice conversation and became friends. Who knows? You could have just been like, "Oh, I'm sorry, didn't mean to not have the leash on. Hey, what's going on? How's it going? Oh, everything's cool. What are you guys up to? Having a good day? How's quarantine? How's your family?" Y'all could have ended up having a cool conversation, kept it moving, maybe become friends, exchange some fucking chicken dip recipes or something. Yours is probably unseasoned, but he could put you on to some shit, because you know how niggas be doing. But it could have been all love, but you chose to show your ass, and in the process, you lost your job. Now you have no dog, and now you look like a goof. Hope you cry yourself to sleep tonight. That's how petty I'm being. I want you to suffer, Amy. And yeah, I called you a cunt. And I don't feel bad about it. And anybody want to give me a hard time for saying it, tell me some of that shit to my face. That's what I would tell you. If you have a problem with me because I called this lady that I do not know the C word because she pretty much tried to have my man set up to be harassed and potentially murdered for no fucking reason, then you have some serious problems. And you know what? That means you probably a cunt too. Shit. Fuck it. Anyway, man, We're going to take a short little break. This is the Meanquil Jackson Show. You know I'm always lit. I just give it to you real. And this is how I feel about these situations. I don't be feeling bad, bro. It is what it is. When you watch that video and you see how garbage she is, how she tries to approach him and get in his face because he's recording her, and then she takes a few steps back when she realizes she fucked up, and then she tried to play the role of the victim and try to get all the freaking waterworks going, and like, oh my God, 911, there's a black guy. He's harassing me. Please help. Send help now. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Tell my mother I love her. Oh my God. Nah, bitch. Fuck you. I wish that dog would have bit your ass right then just for being stupid. Anyway, this is the Meanquil Jackson Show. We're live on Track Talk Radio. Shout out to the CEO of Track Talk Radio, Miss Sherry. We got to have Sherry on this show this week. Sherry, if you're listening, call in. Let's get some Track Talk Radio updates, man. Hit me up, man. Shout out to Tribe Tokes as well. Let's lit. We got Lloyd Banks, Hands Up, about to play. And then we got some Ludacris, Georgia. And then I have some Pitbull records. Culo! Well, I wish I knew Spanish fluently so I could spit like the Spanish raps and I could be in here. But the only part I know, I think he said senorita on there. That's the only thing I know. But I can kind of make the noise that sound like I'm speaking Spanish, but I'm definitely not doing it if you're wondering. So stay tuned. I might spit some freestyles later. We're going to see. But it's the Meanquil Jackson Show, and we're turned up to the max. Let's get it. Man, oh man. Let the music play. Man, shout out to George. George, you didn't deserve to die like that. Think about how crazy that is. Who was it? Was it Eric? Eric Garner? I think Eric was the one who was screaming he couldn't breathe neither. My man got choked out over some fucking cigarettes and shit. And now my man George getting the same fucking fate. That is so crazy, bro. That's why you'll notice this episode is called They Hate Us Because They Ain't Us. And I love that. That's a line off the movie The Interviews that James Franco, Seth Rogen. Classic funny. But anyway, yeah, I firmly believe, like I said, it's not the profession. The profession is needed. I understand. Authority definitely comes in handy when you have people out here that are wild and not doing the right thing and potentially putting, the lives of people around them in danger. So I get it. We have to have police officers, law enforcement, all of that shit. But the thing that we don't need to have people wearing that badge who aren't fit to actually work the job. If they can't communicate with people, you're talking about basic standard communication. Even if you see a situation is bad, bro, you're literally, as a cop, you're walking up with a gun, a taser, handcuffs, a baton probably, fucking backup. It's not like it's you by yourself. You probably got a partner, whatever the case may be. Sometimes they are solo, so I get it. Extra precautions have to be taken in that moment. But y'all are acting like y'all have to walk up to the situation already on 10. If you got a person standing there and it seems like they're just minding their own business, even if you want to ask them questions, a simple, hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever it is, how are you? Introduce yourself. Start with a fucking greeting. Come on. You can't be stupid. If you have any type of awareness while you're on the job, you can see when a situation calls for a little more aggression than the average situation. Most of the shit y'all are running into can't always be so bad that you got to end up kicking the shit out of people. And I get it. There are times when force is necessary. But you mean to tell me that it's you and your homeboys, y'all have a person restrained, and one of you absolutely still has to have your knee on the person's neck? You have to do that? Why does that have to happen? And what training manual do they say, hey, and when there's 4 of you, If the guy's still even moving just a little bit, make sure you keep your knee on the back of their spine, because then what you're going to do is you're going to, hopefully it'll be pinned up against their throat so they'll stop breathing, maybe break a few of their bones, collapse their fucking lungs, and then we can just flat out kill them. Paperwork becomes much easier when they die. Like, is that how they're training people? I can't imagine that that's the deal. You also have to be able to read the situation. If it's you and your 4 buddies, you should be like, hey guys, all right, there's 4 of us. This one of these niggas. We got him. He's cuffed. We can stop kicking the shit out of him for no reason. All that stuff is unnecessary. This is crazy, bro. Crazy how my people are getting treated. And it does sound like, when I say they hate us because they ain't us, it does sound like anus. And that's one of the reasons why I love it, because it sounds like anus. Always funny. And if you have the maturity level of like a 7-year-old, you're always going to think that's funny. And that's me. I'm always laughing at that shit. They hate us because they ain't us. And you know what? Amy Cooper and these cops that hurt my man George, they can go eat their own anus. All right? Fuck those people. This is a trick, but man, let's see what else we got on the docket. We're gonna talk about these versus battles. You know what? I was glad when I watched Nelly versus Ludacris was okay, but all of these battles like result in the shit malfunctioning. Like, I'm so confused as to how we got I feel like my setup is better than what the people on Versus be doing, because they never seem to have the internet working or the shit in their studio. And I'm like, what do y'all be paying for? Y'all got all this damn money, but you can't seem to get your shit to work so y'all can actually battle and play your songs and give the fans what they want. So when we come back, we're going to talk about how Timbaland and Swizz Beatz have now started to add rules, and they're going to have set up requirements if people actually want to do the battles. That way they can continue to give the people what they want, and it'll be less of this bullshit where the stuff is malfunctioning. That's not fun for anybody. And it does the artists a disservice too, because it's making these people who have classic records and they've done so much for music and music history, and then they end up turning it into memes because their fucking Wi-Fi doesn't work. And then you got all these freaking 16, 17, 20-year-olds, and then my ass all out here making fun of them because they're suckers. And they're not suckers. It's just the setup is just malfunctioning. Technical difficulties. That's happened to me 100 times on the show. You know how fucking stupid I look? And it happens, bro. But it shouldn't happen to y'all because y'all have money. I'm broke. It's supposed to happen to niggas like me. It's not supposed to happen to you. Come on, get it together. All right, let's see what we got. We got 2 minutes, man. They got the Ludacris, Georgia. Mark says Nelly still would have sucked. You know what? Yes, you were absolutely right, because, and the reason why Nelly sucked so bad is because he kept trying to play, Luda would play something, and it would be his verse, and everybody would be in the chat was going crazy. And then Nelly would be like, oh, okay, I see you trying to turn up. I got something for you. And then you'd see him hit play, and then it would start playing, and you'd be like, well, what the fuck is this? And it was some original unreleased music that he had never shown anybody. And he was thinking oh, I'm going to do it tonight while I'm battling Luda, and then people will get hyped, and then it'll be crazy, bro. I've never seen a thread that had so many people with blue checks next to their name saying stuff like, this shit is whack. What the fuck is this? Come on, Nelly, you're better than this. Can we go back to Luda? Bro, the disrespect towards Nelly was crazy. And Nelly didn't do that bad, but he did not do good either. That's all I'm going to say. Poor Nelly. God, that shit was terrible. We got about 45 seconds, then we finna turn up again. Ugh. And then when we go to the next break, they're gonna be listening to that Pitbull shit. Culo, señorita, culo. I don't know what he said. I gotta learn that. If anybody knows legit Spanish, call into the show and teach me that, So I can play that sometime in the next couple weeks, and then I can spit that hook with ease. All right. Because I don't want to have to, mumble and say some bullshit, because then Latinos really be looking at me like, yo, what is this nigga doing? I'm like, I'm trying to live in the moment, man. I'm trying to be like Pitbull and then say ass really loud. Culo! Because isn't that what that means, is ass, right? I don't know. Let me stop the Pitbull record real quick and let's just get back into the show, man. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Michael Jackson Show. We are live on Track Talk Radio. All right. What day is it? It is May 26th. God, we are almost into the month of June. The month of June has come way too soon. I saw my old roommate Brandon today. Brandon does not seem hopeful that we will be moving on to the next phase of this, what is the stay-at-home shit. That concerns me because June 22nd would have been when we were supposed to move to phase 3, which they said is when gyms in our state would open up at like 50% capacity. It's not looking good for us. So if you were planning to go to the gym in late June, you're probably pushing that back to late July. But that's cool, man. It just gives me time to get in a little bit of shape. I mean, I'm looking a little bit more fluffed up than usual, but that's okay, man. I'm still feeling good. Look, I don't even know my name no more. They're calling me handsome. So I'm not tripping. It gives me more time to get in shape. But fuck, man. I need somebody to blame for this. Because listen, I did what I could. I stayed at home as much as I possibly could. Now let me stop. I probably have myself to blame for this because I've been leaving the house a lot. But at the same time, I wear a face mask. I'll always wash my hands. I feel like I did everything right, and I don't feel like I should be punished anymore. I feel like the gym should open for maybe just me so I can go get some shots up. Or they should just take the covers off the rims on these park hoops that are all around the city and put the fucking nets back on it. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I heard there were people all at the freaking beaches this weekend and all the parks and all that shit. And everybody was going crazy, but like, we can't go out there and hoop, bro. You're killing me. I need to get some shots up. That's literally my only complaint about the stay-at-home order. Other than that, I don't mind this shit. It's really not that bad. We're coasting, just getting along, man. Well, I can't wait till I get this new chair in here for Thursday's show. Bro, this motherfucker keeps squeaking and my back is hurting. But that's okay. It's mainly because I'm old. I keep saying I still can't get over that my man ended up dying for pretty much nothing. The show on Sunday was strictly just on Track Talk Radio. There was no YouTube video of it, but I talked about how I was in this place called Westport, Washington, and the entire time I was there, I had a great time. Don't get me wrong. But I was very uncomfortable because, I don't know. I literally was like I kept my head down even when I was outside and out amongst people because I was concerned that these white folks would want to say something to me. And I had fear that I would end up being involved in a situation to where I then have to, I don't know what I would do, man. Because I want to continue to keep my head down. I wouldn't want to put anybody that was beside me in any type of danger or anything like that. But I'm also me, and I know how I've handled those situations before. And so I ain't gonna lie to you. I've also been like, walking around, working on my, it looks whack now, but that's because I'm holding this, but I'm just playing. But no, seriously, like, preparing myself for violence and all that, and like I hate that because like I'm worried that type of shit is gonna happen. Even though like now that I'm back at home, in the heart of Seattle, it's not gonna happen. But I was concerned that maybe some shit like that would go down in that area because I don't know those fucking people and they don't know me. But all these people have so much heart now because they see their leadership talking crazy and doing dumb shit, retweeting stuff that shouldn't be retweeted, like just doing the most. And so that's what they want to do. They want to do the most and they want to test people. And that's the type of shit that I don't want to deal with, because like I don't want to be tested. And I don't want that person to end up going home all fucked up. And then maybe like you show up, you got a whole full mouth full of teeth, and then like you walk away from an encounter with me only having like 3 or 4 of those motherfuckers left. Like I don't want to be involved in no shit like that, all because people are out here acting stupid, or like getting stopped by the cops, man. Like, you know, today I had to go and I was down there at IKEA waiting to get this freaking chair that I can't get until tomorrow, which that ended up being my fault. But even in those moments, I'm like, yo, I got to keep a low profile because I'm worried that the cops are going to pull up and be like, why are you out here waiting? So I had to have the email queued up on my phone, and I had my ID just on the dash just in case. So I'm like, yo, if they roll up, I got to be like, yo, I'm just here waiting to get an email about a chair. And see, here's the email telling me that I got to wait, blase. But like having to have all that ready just so I don't end up dying, bro, that is so crazy. So crazy. And white folks ain't going through that. You're not waking up every day being like, oh shit, let me make sure I'm on point because I don't want to get run up on by police or get run up on by some angry race of people. And white folks be angry for no reason at black people. Think about that shit. Even these cops, man, what was going on with them that they were so mad at this guy George that they had to kill him? Or had to restrain him in such a manner that it ended up resulting in his death. They killed him, yes. They 100% killed him, excuse me. But in this moment, I want to phrase the question where it doesn't sound so accusatory. But what was going on with them that led to them using excessive amounts of force that resulted in a man's death, regardless of what he did? Why? And you'll never be able to get those fucking answers. But I got to already ask myself that stuff before I even leave the house. If something is to happen to me, am I going to be able to leave something behind that shows that I was not some horrible fucking human who deserved to fucking die? I don't even think it matters because they just find ways to justify that shit. Like even with Ahmaud's case, I seen how the other day they're trying to go back to an arrest that he had like 3 years ago. Like, see, this nigga deserved to die. He was arrested 3 years ago. Man, well, you know what? I've been handcuffed. I got a mugshot online. I've had to go to court and almost had to do time for some situation where a dude wanted to start a bunch of shit and end up getting knocked out. And then he wanted to press charges and the state tried to send me to fucking jail for 2 years over that. Yeah, been there, done that. I've had all those things. So if in 5 years I end up being killed, are they going to bring that up and say, oh, well, he had this coming because he did this when he was, in his early 20s? Or mid 20s. I don't remember when that happened. Late 20s? I don't remember. It's sometime. But is that going to be the case? Do I deserve some shit like that? Who knows, man? Who knows? All right, man. Let's get into. So earlier when I was on break, I was making fun of Nelly. Of course, I was not making fun of Nelly. I brought up Nelly because Nelly has some technical difficulties on the versus battle with Luda, but so far out of all the ones that I've seen, that's really been the only one the one that I watched that felt successful. Well, I guess the Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu, I didn't hear of any screw ups in that, but the babyface Teddy Riley had to be rescheduled because of technical difficulties. Nelly had technical difficulties. Apparently Jagged Edge and 112 had technical difficulties when they did their show the other night. And so I guess Swiss Beats and Timbaland are now putting in some rules and putting in some setup requirements. That way they can ensure that these little live shows go off without a hitch. I like it. I don't know. I think some people were mad because maybe they think they're trying to control the artist a little too much, but I don't think this is controlling the artist by asking them to make sure that their audio and video is set up properly. That way they can actually perform the show like they were supposed to. That's not asking too much. So I think that'll be pretty dope. Hopefully it'll make some of these battles go a little bit better. I didn't see the one between Jagged Edge and 112. I'm going to guess that maybe JE won it. I think most people prefer JE over 112, but I'm going to say this. Jagged Edge only gets a little bit more shine than 112 because 112 had a boss who was overbearing. And if you know anything about P. Diddy, you know that he puts all of his best acts on the freaking shelf, and they really don't live up to their potential because of who they work for. And Jagged Edge had Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri made Lil Bow Wow hot. Enough said, man. Of course, people pick Jagged Edge. Don't get me wrong, Jagged Edge is dope. But if you really listen to the music, I don't know if they're a better group than 112. I think they have better hits overall, but I think some of that comes from the people that they worked with and the people that they didn't have to work with. You think 112 was under contract with Diddy. You're going to get Diddy type of songs and beats and outcomes. Whereas like when you work with Jermaine Dupri, look at the stuff he was doing, more creativity. You're working with better producers. You're getting, some of the hottest rap acts at that time to be on records with you. I mean, think about Jagged. What's one of Jagged Edge's biggest hits? Where the Party At, featuring who? Nelly, at the most perfect time in the early 2000s when Nelly was one of the hottest artists out. I mean, come on. Of course you're going to do well. What's 112's one of their best songs? Featuring another rapper, Peaches and Cream, featuring Ludacris. That's not as good as Where the Party At. But that's not their fault. I think some of that comes down to the type of music that was being produced in their camp and what Diddy deems as a hit versus what Jermaine Dupri deems as a hit. And that's why I think you see different types of success for groups that were potentially equal. I mean, neither one of them have a person within their group that really could carry on their own. But if you had to give it to one person, you would probably say Slim from 112. Out of every single one of those guys is the only one who could actually have like a real legit solo career. And even he was not that good by himself. That's the thing with both these groups. None of the guys are good enough to carry all by themselves, but they're phenomenal as a group. I think they both did well, but I would give the edge. I think 112 personally is a little bit better than them, just like their songs personally for me. But I think overall, when you think of more popularity, Jagged Edge probably edges them out with relative ease. Most people were going to vote Jagged Edge, just probably based on Where the Party At. But Anywhere and shit, what is this? What's the one cut that 112 has? I'm blanking on the name of this record. It's famous. The song is hot. What is this? Numbers in your pocket. I remember when you. That's the cut, man. What is that song called? I'm blanking on the name. It's right there. It'll come to me. But either way, that shit was lit. Hopefully we get some more good battles. I'm thinking the next one, we need to get this. We need DMX versus Jay-Z or DMX Eminem or Snoop Jay-Z, or we need, I know people say Usher Chris Brown, but I don't care about that. I don't even think that one. I think Usher would end up kind of smashing him. And I know that sounds crazy, but I just think Usher's like his early catalog and his hits, like they're better than Chris. Chris has some bangers though. Don't get me wrong. But it would be like Jordan is like Usher and Chris is like Kobe type of deal in this scenario. I feel like that's a waste. I'd rather see Chris versus who's somebody. I mean, Chris versus Trey is not that bad because they both have tons of albums and tons of hits, and their content is very similar, where they're talking about either being in the guts of their female, or breaking up with their female, or trying to get back with their female and then bumping the guts of their female. So they might as well battle. Usher's whole catalog, like everything about him that people love the most is about how like apologetic he is when he talks about going through breakups. All his music is like breakup based. I don't think them doing a versus battle would be all that entertaining. The hits are just too different. I want to see people who have comparable music so we can kind of decide who out of these two people is better. I feel like that ain't too much to ask, man. Should be easy peasy. Let's see. Mike Tyson. Let's talk about Mike Tyson real quick. Apparently, like the bare knuckle boxing organization, company, conglomerate, whatever these people are, they offer Mike $20 million, I think, for a fight or just a contract. Either way, Mike is 53 years old, getting offered $20 million to go fight in the bare knuckle leagues. I want to know who's planning to take that fight. Mike Tyson versus whoever, no gloves on. Who's really trying to take that fight? And I wonder, what are you going to get paid to take a bare knuckle punch from Mike fucking Tyson? I want the $20 million that they offered him. I want that as base salary, just to get in there and to potentially be knocked out. I want $20 million. If I have to take the knockout bare knuckle, I want an extra $10 million on top of that. I want $30 million to go in there and get knocked out by Mike Tyson. And I don't feel like that's not a lot of money, because the potential to end up in a coma fighting bare, like with 14-ounce gloves on, it was already going to be bad. No gloves on. Can you imagine? Could you imagine Mike punching the shit out of you? No gloves on. Jesus Christ. I would like to send Mike Tyson to punch Sean Baker Sr. in the fucking head. So Sean Baker Sr. is just some random person that I guess the internet is feeling like they want to drag him, because his response to George begging and pleading for his life as he was murdered by police was awesome. One less piece of shit in the world. Hope it didn't breed. It was glorious to watch. He's talking about how he watched the cops murder that man. I feel like we should pay Mike $20 million to go just black this nigga's eyes real quick. Sean Baker Sr., ladies and gentlemen, fat piece of shit. He is a racist loser who probably has no life. Now the internet is dragging him. Hopefully they will connect with his employer, get him off the street. I mean, I don't even know, man. I honestly, he has freedom of speech. If he really feels that way and wants to say that about this guy dying, that's terrible. But at the same time, there's not a whole lot anyone can really do about that. If it does result in him getting fired, I think that's more funny than anything. But that also kind of sucks about the world that we live in, is because like I literally was on the beginning of this show complaining about how Facebook banned me because they won't let me say stuff. But then like I'm irritated at this guy for what he said. I mean, it's more about having like a little bit of class and all that type of shit, because if this was one of Sean's family members, he'd be mad as shit if somebody was like, yeah, no one gives a fuck, Sean. Fuck you and your family. Hope all of you died and didn't reproduce. Like him and his friends and his family, they would feel some type of way if we said that type of shit about him or anybody he knew in the wake of their death. That is crazy talk, bro. Even if you feel some type of way. This is one of those things where some of you losers, you don't have to always comment. Not everything you see requires a response from your brain. Some of this shit, y'all can let it go because you're not obviously qualified to comment. Because this is the type of shit that you're gonna say. You said this on your fucking social medias. Like, come on, man. Actions have consequences. Hate speech deserves punishment. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm only saying that because it's like, what nowadays, what is hate speech? I mean, shit. Me saying her apology was weak and then putting white people spelled funny. That was hate speech. That to me sounds like jokes, man. Got banned for that. I'm not justifying anything the dude says. Sean can go to hell for all I care. And while he's there, he can grab me a juice box. He's a fucking loser. But that's typical. Look at these people that leave these comments. Look who they are. Look at them. They're all the most garbage of white people. Like, if white people have a garbage department and it's like just a category for like the type of people that they have on their team, Sean is one of those people. He's in the garbage department because he thinks that it's acceptable to make a comment like that. I mean, think about when Kobe died. Think about the amount of people who were like, good riddance. Terrible black guy. I'm glad he's dead. Wish his helicopter would have crashed twice. Like, think about all the people that were saying shit like that. And I'm like, bro, like, it's humans. Those are humans, man. Like, there ain't no way in hell that you really believe George deserved to die the way that he did today or yesterday, whenever this shit happened. There's no way that you actually believe that. Because if that type of shit happened to you or one of your family members, you guys would be livid. I'm in a group chat with some of my friends today, and we're talking about this same situation. We're talking about how we all firmly believe that if this was to happen to white people, we don't think that it would happen twice. Because they will lose their minds. There's even almost a question where, do you think that Amy lost her job today more because of the abuse to the animal or for the fact that she called the cops on an innocent black guy? What do you think it really was? Because they obviously saw the tape and then they put her on administrative leave. What did you need to see another time to finally make the decision to fire her? Makes you wonder. I bet it was the dog. But like, it doesn't seem like these people really care about that shit, man. I mean, look at that. Look at those cops and then look at someone like Amy. That's their first thing that they want to go to. They want to get rid of us. They want to exterminate us. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. She approached him because he has his cell phone out and he tells her to put her dog on a leash. She approaches, doesn't get the result that she wants, and then immediately just goes to, well, I'm just going to call the fucking cops, I guess. Fuck. And in her head, she probably was calling him Tyrone too. Fucking Tyrone wants to give me a fucking attitude. Fuck this nigger. I'm going to call the fucking cops on this nigger. That's what they do, man. This shit is crazy. It's pathetic. And there's so many great people out here doing wonderful things to help all different types of people walking our earth. And yet we're always talking about these fucking bozos. Pathetic. Let's talk about Doja Cat. People want to cancel Doja Cat because she said that she would show her titties online if she got a #1 hit. Apparently, people pushed her shit to #1 because they wanted to see those titties. And she didn't want to show her titties. I don't understand why all you little simp ass niggas are upset with her. You're upset with a female because she's choosing not to show you her body parts just on a whim. Now you're mad. You want her canceled for that. I know that there was some other things too, obviously. I don't know all there. Doja Cat was involved in a lot of shit. I don't think it was just the titties thing. But I also don't understand, why did y'all fall for that shit? Like, is that what I need to do? Like, do I need to say some crazy shit? Like, yo, if y'all get me to 200 followers, I'm going to show you my balls. Like, do I need to do some crazy shit like that? Is that what's going to get me to 200 followers? And then I still have this gift card that I'm trying to give away. And as soon as my logo is done, which hopefully will be in the next like week or so, I'm gonna get these this hoodie and this hat made. We're gonna give away this merch, and it's just literally going to sit at my house. And I'm getting a double extra large. I'm only getting one. I'm making one, and whoever wins it, they're gonna get that. If you're bigger than that, too fucking bad. Hang it up on your wall, or cut it in half and just wear the front part with my logo on it like a bib. You just cut the back off, keep the hood, and then keep the front, and then you just wear it like I don't know. It's a whole thing. I don't know. But either way, if that's what it's going to take for me to get my followers up, then I'm going to do the same thing. Listen, y'all get me to 200 followers, I'm going to show my tits on the show live. You heard it here first. I'll show my tits live if I get to 200 followers by this Sunday, which sounds crazy. Tits on tits. I'm going to show them. I will show them if we get to 200 followers. Subscribers, followers, whatever the fuck you call them. I feel like my shit's being disrespected in the text message right now. I don't appreciate that. People will definitely wear my shit like a bib. I feel like that's a great idea. All right, let me get to this. I'm gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna talk about Patricia Ripley. And here's another one of these fucking bozos that I have to destroy. But this is more because. Patricia, you are so garbage. I don't understand why people have children but then don't want to take care of them. And then there are certain people who end up having kids who have special needs, and then they abuse these kids and hurt them because they're fed up and they don't want to take care of them. Why have children if you don't want to take care of them? It doesn't make sense. So when we come back from break, we're going to talk about Patricia Ripley, this garbage ass mother, I think in Miami, Florida, who tried to blame two black guys for the death of her son. And now we have videotape where she pushed him in the fucking water. And I guess he obviously couldn't swim and he was autistic and she fucking ran away. It's her own child. Patricia, please stab yourself in the fucking brain right now and die. Please do that because you opted to throw your son, your autistic son, into what looked to be a canal. You threw him in the water knowing he probably couldn't swim, definitely needs some supervision, and you ran away. You left him there to die, and then you blamed it because, hey, why not blame black people? That's the easiest way. Oh, it was two black guys. Oh my God. They hurt me and my son. Oh my God, they're black. No, bitch. We got you on tape. On tape. We'll be right back. Let me cut to the music. All right, you're about to hear this pit bull. So if y'all know the words to this, sing along. Culo. Patricia, you fucking scumbag. You threw your autistic son in the freaking lake or canal, whatever this shit was, man. That just watching that video bugged me out for real. I'm pulling it up right now so we can get ready for this shit. Cause I'm coming right back after Kulo. She lied about his abduction. And they got her like walking him in front of the canal, like, and she's like looking for the right moment. And then she kind of like is like, nah, nigga, get in, and like throws him in and then runs away. Bro, this is so crazy. He's 9 years old. Alejandro, we miss you, bro. You didn't deserve that. Fuck, man. This is crazy. 9 years old, autistic. No 9-year-old can really fend for themselves, but can you imagine if on top of them only being 9 years old and not really capable of much of anything, they're also autistic? Can you imagine what life must have been like in those final moments for that child? And not even being able to understand that the person doing this to them is their own mother. This is crazy. Coño! What is coño Spanish for? I think it's for cunt. Learn that from Dexter. Anyway, we're about to come back from break, and then we're going to get into this. Patricia, you slime bag ass bitch. Oh, and then we got Nelly Country Grammar coming up after this. Cool. God, I love these songs that I have queued up. This shit is lit. Hot shit. Oh, yo, before I let that Nelly Country Grammar record play, we're going to get in to this fucking scumbag, Patricia Ripley. First, I want to say R.I.P. Alejandro Ripley, 9 years old. Young fella was autistic, and his mother killed him. And at first, she decided to say that he had been abducted. And Patricia is 45 years old, initially told Florida Police Department that she was driving with her son Alejandro when two men sideswiped her, demanded drugs, and then kidnapped him around Thursday at 9 p.m. The mother claimed that the men stopped her, opened her car door, and demanded drugs. When she did not comply, they took her phone, tablet, and Alejandro. However, after contradicting witness statements and video footage surfaced, Ripley confessed to killing the child during an interrogation. Bro. She pushed him into a canal. And they have video. The video is so crazy. This is a mother, bro. And like, we all felt the same way when the Casey Anthony thing happened, because you're literally wondering in your head, how can you have a child and then kill him? You killed him. For what? Why did you kill your 9-year-old autistic son? Patricia, can you hear me? Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Patricia, why did you kill your son? What did your son do to you that you felt like, look, man, 9 years is a fucking enough, man. I'm tired of it. Have fun in the canal. What did your son do to you that you felt that it was necessary to push him into the canal and then run away and leave him to die? Oh, and they said it wasn't the first time. So apparently she had tried to drop him off somewhere before and tried to kill him, and I guess people saw her. And then that's why she drove somewhere else and then did it again. And then they found his body. This is so crazy, man. 9 years old. Young fella doesn't get to have a life because his mother fucking smokes pole. Shit. Shit is crazy. I'm like literally speechless. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but I work with autistic kids every single day. And knowing that there are limitations and that they can only defend themselves in so many ways. Child safety, especially for these kids, is at the highest level of importance. It is for all kids, but it's like one rung higher for when you're dealing with kids who have special needs. He's 9 years old. There's no way in hell, unless the state of Florida is just completely dropping the ball, there's no way in hell that mom hasn't been offered the correct resources to better understand her son and help take care of him and help get him to where he can become a sufficient adult. There is no reason why she should just give up in year 9 and be like, fuck this kid, and throw him in the freaking canal. That's unacceptable. I don't understand it, man. I've been wanting my own fucking kids. And I haven't been lucky enough to have them. And then there are other people who do, and then look what they do to them. You don't even want to take care of them. Shit. Well, I'll take Alejandro. I got a whole clique worth of people that will help me raise this little guy. And we could have turned him into a freaking superstar. Shit. I mean, if you don't want your child, freaking put him up for adoption. Don't throw him in the freaking canal. That shit is crazy, bro. Crazy. 9 years old. He was nonverbal. That's what I'm saying. Like that, and that's the shitty thing is look at the situation that he's in. He's having to deal with strangers. The first time she tried to throw him in, they saved him. Because he's nonverbal, he can't even communicate what his needs are. And then you have people who you don't know if they're trained or equipped to even help a child who's in a space like that because you don't know what they know as adults. Not every adult knows how to communicate with a kid who has autism or any type of special need for that matter. Not everybody can do that type of shit. And at the very least, his parent should have some sort of training and way that they can help the child. Like they shouldn't be doing this type of shit, whether drugs are involved or not. Patricia, go to hell, lady. I hope a piece of rebar flies through the windshield of your car and goes right through your skull. Well, you're probably not going to be driving a car anymore because you're going to prison. But I hope you don't enjoy your time in prison because you are a god-awful human. I don't give a shit what type of things that you or ways you might have felt to, you know, about things that your son was doing or whatever the case may be. He's a child, 9 years old. Even if he didn't have any disabilities, children don't know anything. They literally only know what we tell them. They don't know things on their own. They know about bugs and cartoons and stuff like that and like cool kid stuff. But they don't know what adults know. Come on, Patricia, you should have been better than that. And if you needed help with your son, you should have reached out to somebody. Doing what you did, that was not the move, fam. Like I said, y'all remember that scene in Final Destination when all the wood fell off that semi? I need all of those logs to fall on Patricia, and she need to be smashed into a million pieces and then run over several thousand fucking times, kind of like roadkill. We need to treat Patricia the way we treat roadkill. You let 10,000 cars run it over before they come out and scoop it up with a shovel and throw it off to the side. That's what we're doing with fucking Patricia, garbage ass human. Hurting that little child for no fucking reason. It's ridiculous. Hoo-ha. It's hot up in here, man. I'm making it a point to play more music on the show, because that's what I used to do when we first started. Is if you listen to the show on Track Talk Radio, there was always music playing. But lately, when we've been doing the show, it's just me talking for 2 fucking hours straight, and only like 2 or 3 songs are getting played. So you know what? We're gonna go back to the break, and we're gonna play some damn music, man. I need to cool off after talking about Alejandro. R.I.P. young fella. We already miss you. You deserve better. Your mom was a fucking scumbag. And there were people out there that could have helped. So if anybody sees this, if you know that there are children that are potentially in these situations, please say something. We can find placement for them. There are people out there that will actually take these children in and love them and help raise them and guide them through life. They don't have to be stuck with these terrible fucking people. You see something? Gotta say something. R.I.P. Alejandro, you poor little thing. Nonverbal, autistic, tossed in the canal and just thrown away like he was a piece of trash by his own fucking moms. Jesus, man. Let's get to this music. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible to think about. 9 years old, autistic, and just tossed away like how we throw away trash, for real. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Well, we got a couple more topics, man, and then I'm closing this out probably early. My YouTube broadcast might start to get shortened a little bit. They may not all be 2 hours. We're gonna run the whole full 2 hours on the radio, but going forward, our YouTube broadcast will be kind of short. Once we breeze through our topics, man, we're done. So we're closing out here in about 15 damn minutes, boy. Yeah. And then the show will still continue until 9 p.m. on Track Talk Radio. So pick your poison. You can either watch me on the YouTube or you can listen on Track Talk Radio and jam out to this music. Right now they're listening to Nelly, Country Grammar. You know what? I might show up on Thursday. Brand new chair, waves, fresh fade, brand new Band-Aid. That used to be my favorite line. I forget what record that's off of, but when Nelly spit that, I was like, that was fire. He came, what did he say? He said, I forget what he said before that. It probably wasn't that good, but I did like the part where he said waves, fresh fade, brand new Band-Aid. Remember how he had the Band-Aid? Yeah, it was stupid as hell, but that line was hot, man. Shout out to Nelly. Nelly's not that bad. He is the MC Hammer of the early 2000s, but he was not that bad. There are definitely people who are worse. If you were in the greater Seattle area and you know of good tattoo artists, let me know. You see all this beautiful skin. I need all of this covered. I need the backs. I need all that covered. Some of this stuff on the inside. I need some nipple tattoos as well. I might even need like a face tat, a couple of Kool-Aid drops. Like, but where it's not like teardrop. I'm not doing all that because I'm not gangster at all. But actual Kool-Aid, like, because I like just like little tiny Kool-Aid men kind of dripping from my eyeball. That'd be dope. Who has that tattoo? Nobody. So I would be unique in that regard, I bet. Somebody hook me up, man, once quarantine's over. What's next on the agenda? God, I can't believe it, man. 9 years old. Autistic. His mom threw him in a freaking canal. That shit is crazy. Why do people fucking do that? God, makes me so mad. Terrible. Just terrible. Oh, man. Between Amy Cooper, Sean Baker's fat ass, these 4 garbage ass cops who were fired, all these fucking goofs, man. This has just been a crazy couple of days. Oh, and Patricia's garbage scumbaggy ass. Well, Steph's in the chat said, "Don't get a face tat." Listen, y'all not realizing I'm probably one of the few people on earth that actually can pull that off and it not look terrible. Okay, don't worry about what I'm doing. Just support me when I pull up with a face tattoo. And I might just say face tattoo just to keep it original. You know what I'm saying? Who just has face tattoo on their face? Not a lot of people. I'm trying to make these things hot and hopefully, take us into the future of face tattooing. I want to be that. I don't think anyone in the chat is buying it. I'm receiving feedback in the chat as well as on my phone that this is a terrible idea. Honestly, I'm not surprised. I don't come up with very good ideas on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So usually Wednesdays when I don't have a show is when I come up with my best ideas. And on Mondays sometimes. Most times not, though. All right, let's check the time on the music. You know what song is playing right now? Oh, my God. Teach Me How to Dougie. Why do I have that queued up? I can't do it. Not sitting in this uncomfortable ass chair, but they're going to listen to that, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to rip this police chief who got caught being a freaking pedo. Like, that's also so crazy to me. In this day and age, if you're the chief of police, why are you out here trying to solicit sex from a minor? You're the chief of police. Come on, man. Like, you know about these things before they even happen. This shit probably comes across your desk. Yeah, we got intel that, so-and-so's working on a operation where we're trying to bust a pedophile. Like, bro, you know if they're targeting you or not. Why are you doing this? Why are you participating in this? And why are we allowing the chief of police to be in this situation at all? Are we not vetting these people? How do they not know? I just don't feel like in 2020 anyone can maintain a cover that good to where they will be able to get away with this type of shit. Because everything is documented. Every move that you make is being watched by somebody else. How? That means that people probably know about this shit and they let it happen. And they probably try to say shit like, "Oh, well, we're letting him do it because hopefully he'll lead us to a bigger fish." Like you want like the head pedophile or something. No, bust this nigga now. Don't allow him to freaking freak Nick the 14-year-old. Bust his ass now. Come on. What am I looking at? Peter North here, old porn star. Bro, stop. If you I love it. Shout out to people in the chat. This person, their handle says "good looking honky." Can I say honky on here? That's not racist. I didn't mean. I'm just saying buddy's name. I'm dying at this chat, yo. I love this, man. Listen, hey, good looking honky. Shout out to you for being hilarious and making me laugh. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and tell all your friends to do the same thing. I'm not gonna call you that. I don't call people that. I only called you the H word because that's a part of your handle. But anyway, shout out to my man for making me laugh. That was hella funny. Thank you for tuning into the show. Not sure how you found it, but like I said, appreciate the love, man. Share the word, like and subscribe, do all the things. God, I love when random people make me laugh. I'm usually the person responsible for making people laugh, but it's nice when random ass strangers can just, make you laugh. That shit's hilarious. That shit was stupid funny. But he said, let's say I can shoot a bird off a tree branch. What? So random. Anyway, all right, gotta check the music. We got 5 seconds. Let's get it. We got Life Jennings about to come up. If you were just dug in on Track Talk Radio, shout out to the who is that group? Red Light District or some shit like that. What is their handle? I don't know, man. They made that record called Teach Me How to Dougie, and they were cutting up. They had their 15 minutes of fame, but everybody loved it. I never could get that dance right. My shoulders don't. See, I'm all stiff, man. I don't, and that's what she said. Anyway, let's get into the last few things. Violence around Memorial Day, all around the country. I'm always very shocked at humans because it's like we forget so quickly. Like, I know we've been on lockdown for like a couple of months now, and things have not been the same, but states have started to reopen, and it ended up falling on a 3-day weekend, and instantly people forgot how to conduct themselves in public. So I saw multiple reports in different places where people were getting shot, beat up. There were tons of videos of people fighting, all at beach areas where people should have been practicing social distancing, but everybody was, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, packed to the fucking brim, and you got people fighting in public. Like, this is y'all's first week out. If maybe you were looking to show and prove, like, hey, we deserve to be back out because we can do all this without completely fucking everything up, y'all are really just making it worse on yourselves. You're gonna force them to want to provide extra security to a lot of the places that you like to frequent and gather, all because you don't know how to fucking act. Why are y'all fighting each other, shooting and stabbing and doing all of these things? Are people really pissing you off that bad, and you have so much pent-up aggression that now for you is the time to exact all that shit on random strangers? Like, some of the videos that I've seen where people are like fighting out front of ice cream parlors, in front of kids and shit like that, and fighting in front of pregnant ladies. Like, what are y'all doing that for? Like, niggas got out of quarantine and was like, all right, time to get back out here and prove I can still run a fade with any and everybody. Like, bro, there is no point to any of that. All in the course of a weekend, man. So many people, and you're talking about lives lost. Like, we want to do everything we can to protect people from the virus, but like, the second we let people out, they're actually more likely just to be killed at the hands of another human due to this person not knowing how to conduct themselves in public rather than being killed by this virus. That's how it's almost feeling, because like I said, as soon as states reopened, people went back to fucking crazy town. You niggas, you don't know how to drive. You don't know how to act. Everybody's fighting in public. We're doing all this wild and crazy stuff. And for what reason? What does it do for you? It does nothing. The shit is pointless. I'm expecting better from people, but at the same time, you got to remember, it's humans. And humans are going to human. And this is just a part of it. So although it's pathetic, I'm not surprised one bit. Anyway, our last little thing. I want to read this because I'm hoping that they put Buddy's name on there. And I think they did. I want to say his name because he's chief of police. We want to make sure his title is read and everything is very accurate. We don't want to disrespect him at all. Yo, why is the freaking internet not working on my phone? All of a sudden it ain't working, dog. All right, this is crazy. Need this to work. There we go. All right, here we go. So the group that caught him is called Pedophile Hunters. So a police chief in Stowe, Massachusetts, has been relieved of his duties as the city's top cop and is facing an investigation after a video by a self-declared pedophile hunter was posted online. The video shows Ralph Marino. Hey, Ralphie, baby. Ralph allegedly attempting to meet a boy who he knew was only 14 for sex. Instead of meeting the boy, however, the chief was confronted by the pedophile hunters from Predator Poachers, Massachusetts. Below is a disturbing video of the police chief attempting to groom a child and lure him into meeting for sex. Had the boy been an actual real child, there's no telling what the chief might have done. Warning, the text messages in the video below are disturbing. Well, fuck it. We got some time. Let's play the fucking video. Excuse my language.
Very tense moments. That little girl was missing for about 2 hours. And in that period of time, she managed to cover about 2 miles.
Wow, they're talking about a missing child too. It's cracking over in Stowe.
Almost 2 miles. The ordeal started around 10:15 this morning.
Mom was putting her 2 infants into her SUV.
Oh, that's them right there.
This is crazy.
Hey, how you doing, man? Got a couple questions. Who you here to meet, bro?
Huh?
Who you here to meet?
We're not here.
Your name's Mark, right?
No, his name's Ralph. Ralph Dan Marino. Yo, this is crazy. So, hold on, let me turn this volume down. So they literally had the video playing, and his handle is called Daddy Dearest. The person confirmed, well, I'm 14. Gonna be honest, I'm shy. Have you been with the guy? Hold on, hold on, it's going too fast. This says, well, I'm 14. First, he asked, what are you into? Wow. Said, no, I kissed one time. What you looking for? Kissing is okay. And what? He said this. He thinks he's talking to a 14-year-old, and he said something like, I enjoy sucking something. Bro, you can't tell kids that, bro. This is the chief of police in Stowe, Massachusetts. Bro, Ralph Marino, you disgusting mother sucker. You're seeking out sexual favors from a 14-year-old. You are a loser. So Ralph was relieved of his duties. God, who knows what he would have done if he actually would have gotten a hold of this child. This is pathetic, man. Chief of police. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, man, like I said, we are officially in the new format of the show. It just means that our YouTube broadcast is actually going to get cut a little bit early, but the music and the party still continues live on Track Talk Radio until 9 p.m., man. So switch over to Track Talk Radio and get it crack-a-lacking. The music is about to start playing. I thank you for tuning in on YouTube. We're live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, man. We will see you guys again. It is lit.